Good morning, folks. Welcome aboard another day of building heavy. Well, after a few days doing other things, which was quite nice to just have a break when your head is full of mess with these things. Anyway, I'm going to get a couple of LED channels mounted in here to make sure that this works and try and get the bit of ceiling that I've got, or ceiling size bit of wood, to fit in them and see whether that all works. Then I can decide to carry on or, well, cry. Okay. So I started by drawing a line down the channel where I wanted to put the screws that hold the LED channels in, and then I put the screws in and what have you. But there's not very much speeded up footage of this because, to be honest, I was up and down the ladder and moving about different places, and I just haven't got the time to edit it all together. And so I stopped recording for most of what I was actually doing, if you see what I mean. I will do something, obviously, once I've got it right and once I've figured out what it is I am doing, so that you can see what I do. I think it's less useful seeing all the stuff that is wrong. Well, at the near end, then these are 600 apart, and at the far end, then they're 605 apart. So that is basically a country mile. 600 seems to be about right. There was a bit of curve, and at 605, then there was zero curve. So pondering, thinking, don't know. Right, well, we have some progress, I think, in terms of how to move forward. I've been reminded of various things that matter. One is the tightness of these screws here. They need to be just tight enough to, well, they need to be quite tight so that the channel can't rotate. That would be too loose. Because then, so it needs to be tighter up there so that there's just enough space for the ceiling ply. And I can also put those screws in on the floor, and so that'll be easier because then I don't have to do so much above my head, and I will run a thread line down at where I want the channel to be on the edge of, not in the middle of the ceiling. And I'll do the same the other side. So that will be the next task. Well, I guess it's time for a little update. I have got two threads up, one on either side. I have very carefully lined up the channels, and then carefully put the LEDs in and all the rest of it. But as you can see, this piece of ceiling is dead flat and not where it should be, if you see what I mean. So these are plainly too far apart, despite them being exactly where I wanted them. So I have yet to come up with another plan. Once I have a plan that works, I'll show it to you. Now, I figure that I might as well put this up because somebody might have an idea of how to do this differently from me. So the two channels up there, they are each at an angle of 7.5 degrees to follow the curve of the roof, or the channels that, I mean the carriers, the pieces of the 19mm things that carry the LED channels. I'm thinking that the way to do it is to try and do it on the floor and then put it up there, which means that I have to make the two channels connected and then somehow separate them once they're up there. Actually, they don't need to be separated once they're up there, thinking about it, because even if there was a cross member directly between those two pieces, then it wouldn't be low enough to be a problem. That would be very doable, but I could just, even if I wanted to cut it out, I could, once it's fixed up there, then I could just cut it out with the oscillating saw. But I haven't come up with a design that kind of puts the various bits together. Right, well, I think I might have just figured this out, actually. So if I make something like this, That's at the wrong angle, but assume it's 7.5 degrees. So then that piece, the horizontal will be horizontal. I can mount one of those up there, one at the other end, and one in the middle, and so they'll be robust enough to hold everything exactly where they should be at the 7.5 degrees, what have you. So, and then I can fix the channel at the various points where it needs to be fixed onto the reinforcements in the roof, the cross members in the roof, and I think if that means I can make it on the floor, which means I can faff about with it to get it exactly where I need it to be, and then put it up and have it not move. That's the theory anyway. Wish me luck.